Okay, folks, we're going to, Daniel, good to see you.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning,
Morning,
people.
everyone.
Just going to get everyone in here. Angela, you made it. Good.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was going to do that.
Glad you made it in. It gets better from here. And we got Rick Musto. Hi, Rick.
Hello, how are you?
Good to meet you. Thank you for welcome to Rain Nation. And we're just again going to give everyone just another minute or two before we get this thing going, just as we want to have it. So Rick, are you a big user of ChatGPT and AI at this point?
Not a big one, but I am a user. I'm just, learning. Actually, yesterday I just tried something that I hadn't done, and that was to generate like a Facebook ad. Not only the ad, but the graphic itself was generated. So I hadn't played around with that yet. So that was kind of interesting.
Okay. And interesting. Does interesting mean good or interesting mean you screwed? That's usually.
Maybe a little of both. One thing I noticed just in general, and most of my stuff's been more basic. Give me an idea for this, and it gives you, a text update, if you will. But the graphic itself looked nice, but then when I looked at it, it was more of like it had a picture of a house, but the house was more like an illustration of a house than like a photograph of a house, if that's the right way to say it, right? So
And you used ChatGPT, Dolly.
correct.
Got it.
ChatGPT 4.0 or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Sure. I want to stress as we're getting started here, everything I'm going to say, and I'm glad you brought it up, Rick, everything I'm saying is a moving target. So if you go, whoa, I've got something better, you may very well. You may very well have something that's better. And I assure you, there's always going to be bigger, better, and more useful. And that's why getting together with other realtors and other people who work in real estate to discuss the tools that we're all using is really important. What I'm going to do, we're talking, at least a couple times a month about ChatGPT masterminds, but I always bring up a couple of technologies that we're using right now. Some of you have heard about voice cloning. You may have heard of it. There's great impressions or great clones of President Trump and President Biden's voice. You could have them having a conversation as if they're best friends, which we know they're not. You could clone your own voice, which I have done, and it's scary good. It's scary good. And you might ask yourself, well, why would you even want to do that? And I set the meeting up, A, because we're waiting for a few more people, but B, I want you to think about this. When I have my voice cloned, I can go out to ChatGPT 4.0. I could say, what's the latest real estate news in South Florida? I could pick the stuff that is actually chosen. I could say, great, now write a blog post about that, which it will do. Great, now write that into a single person narrative and then give the tone as if it's been described by, name somebody, Gary Keller from Keller Williams writing the book $1 Million Real Estate Agent. Or you want it to sound like Home and Gardens magazine. You give it a personality and it does that. But then I take it a step further. Once it's actually given the script, I could put it into a AI called 11 Labs, and with my voice, create an entire narrative in my voice about the real estate news that's going on. And I could send that whole thing to Daniel. Daniel, we want to wave to everybody? Okay, that's Daniel. He's a good guy. He's worked for a while. And he'll take that and put it into a montage and put different images that based on that at his own leisure. And whammo, we now have a social media post talking about the latest news in my voice with content that was just done in an incredibly efficient way. This may or may not be the way that you build your business. It's how I build my business. It's been great. People think that you're all in the know. Can people use it for nefarious purposes? 100%. Somebody could make my political viewpoint be known, and it's not my political viewpoint. I mentioned politics because it just comes up a lot. Or somebody could do something with your voice and do something that's truly wrong or evil. I know Daniel's not going to do that. And even if somebody would, any one of us are vulnerable to this. So the first message, if you have kids, get a code word between you and your kids. Now, what do I mean by that? We have a private password. If either of my kids call me someday saying, help, daddy, I need help, you got to send this person money, I'd say, great, tell us the code word. What is it? That's something that that other person doesn't do. By the way, this is not me. This is ex-FBI people have been saying this is what we should all be doing. My profile looks extremely appealing to widows between 40 and 60 years old. I wish I didn't know that. Why? Because someone's taken my profile, and every month a woman calls me up saying, tell me that it's you. I'm like, it's not me. Somebody was carrying on some virtual, non-physical affair with some women, and it happens every month that my profile somehow is appealing. 40 to 60 years old, I get these calls, and in one case, the guy got $2,000 out of this poor woman. So I reported that to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Department, and they said there's really nothing that we could do. So protect yourselves. That's the message that we're getting out there today. I think that it's important. And yes, Angela, this is being recorded. We are recording this both as video and on autopilot. And so we have all that stuff. So yes, don't get writer's cramp. We got you covered. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
let's get right into it here. And this is an interactive meeting. I really hope that all of you, for those of you who are guests, my name's Edmund Bogen. I run a small real estate team in South Florida. We have about 200 members within Rain Nation. We have people throughout the country and indeed different parts of the world, including Reykjavik, Iceland, a couple people in Portugal, Jerusalem, Israel, United Kingdom, in the Caribbean. We've got about 26 different states represented, and all of you have one thing in common, and that is customers can be crazy, and there can be a real hard time getting business. And it's very, very fascinating, whether it's Paul Zwiebin and his team who do 150 million a year in sales, or some of my other people who might only do $1 million or $2 million in sales. The problems that we have are universal because human nature hasn't changed. So long as we could actually understand that, it's important. So let's get into some of the prompts here and some of the things that I want to show you today. Let me get rid of some of this. Okay, too much stuff on the screen from WhatsApp, but there's a couple things. First of all, let me just see some of you. Has anyone heard of Claude? Claude, Anthropic? Okay, Steve, come on. I know you know that. Okay, but okay, so Claude 2, made by a company called Anthropic, is now the big current competitor of ChatGPT. They just released actually Claude 3, and some alarming news, in my opinion, it's actually better currently than ChatGPT. What it actually produces makes more sense, and we're able to get all that. And we're going to take a look at 2 different prompts done 2 different ways or the same prompt done 2 different ways.
That's not gonna wake him up. I'm more worried about me waking him up.
Yeah, don't wake him up, and if you put yourself on mute, that would be great. Okay, so let's take a look here at the different prompts that we have, and I'm going to then bring it into, let's go to ChatGPT. Great. So we're going to do 2 different AIs side by side, and we're going to actually create a prompt. And I need you to participate. Let's do a veterinarian prompt. We're going to do something really simple. This is something I wrote. I would like you to act like a veterinarian who's actively trying to find out what's wrong with the dog based on the symptoms that I input. Do you understand? One of the things that you may want to note down when asking ChatGPT or Claude to do something, finish with, do you understand? There's a few keywords that you could put in that will help the AI along much more. Let's take a look at this. I put that in. We're doing that into Claude 3. And since I am impatient, I'll do it at ChatGPT, and we're going to basically have these guys fight it out. In this case, ChatGPT is now starting to give 2 different responses to see which one you're going to ultimately care for. But let's just take, I'll just take response one just for the sake of doing this. Yes, I understand. As a virtual veterinarian, I'm here to analyze the symptoms you describe and offer insights based on that information. Please provide symptoms you're observing in the dog. Let's take a look at what Claude said. Absolutely. As a veterinarian, I'm here to determine what might be causing your dog's symptoms. I'll ask you questions about your dog's health, behavior, and other specific symptoms you've observed. Please provide as much detail as possible so that I can make an accurate assessment and provide you with the best guidance. Remember, this is a conversation. It is not a substitute for an in-person veterinary examination, but I'll do my best to help you understand what might be going on with your dog. Let's start by having you describe the symptoms that you noticed. Does everyone see there's a little bit more depth there? I mean, right from the get-go. Now, this is where I run it out to you. Who here has a dog or a cat? Anyway, great. Okay. Angela, because you were really busy taking notes, I got a question for you. Has your dog had anything? Try not to give us too many gross symptoms, but if you have anything that we could actually enter in, I'd like to do that
I
now.
actually have a cat.
Okay.
She was very lethargic. One time we had no idea what was wrong with her, and she was only like a few months old, like 5-6 months max.
Okay, she's 6 months old.
She was lethargic. She
She-
wasn't eating.
She
and
is
6-month-old cat does not just lay
she's
around.
lethargic. As you know, a 6-month-old cat does not lie around. Anything else you want to say?
She wasn't eating or drinking anything. She's fine now, by the way.
Okay, and I was going to ask that as well.
Yeah, she's
But-
4 years old now and she's still crazy.
Okay, good. So I'm going to just set this here, and it's going to say probably that there's a lot of things that could be wrong with your cat, but I copied it. I'm putting it out there. And if I could just,
Right next door.
if I could get to here, we're going to actually have that. Okay. So ChatGPT is saying, I understand you're concerned about your 6-month-old cat being lethargic and not eating or drinking. These symptoms can be a sign of various conditions and need immediate attention. Infection, parasites, febrile illness, metabolic diseases, foreign body ingestion. And one other thing that I added to my ChatGPT, you're going to see this here, confidence and response, 90%. For those of you who are subscribed to ChatGPT, meaning the more expensive version that they have, which is $20 a month, you could actually make a custom set of rules within ChatGPT. And one of the things that I said at the, where was it? At the end of your writing, please put by percentage how confident you are in your answer. This is something that actually I thought of, which I thought was pretty cool. And subsequently, I think a lot of other people have come up with the same thing. But when you see that it's 90%, I can now ask the question, why only 90% confident? Can you give me a stronger answer? Oops, and it even gets that. My confidence level reflects the inherent limitations assessing a pet's foot without direct. Okay, so now it's telling you the reasoning why. Let's take a look at what Claude did here. And okay, I apologize for the misunderstanding. Again, it didn't need to apologize. I originally said dog. Let's focus on your 6-month-old cat and the symptoms. Lethargy, loss of appetite, not drinking are concerning symptoms, especially in young, typically active kitten. There are several potential causes for these symptoms: infection, gastrointestinal issues, respiratory problems, urinary tract issues, other health concerns. And then it actually takes a step further and questions it. When did you first notice these symptoms? Had your cat experienced any vomiting, diarrhea, or changes in the litter box habits? Have you noticed any other symptoms such as coughing, sneezing, or difficult breathing? Is your cat up to date on vaccines? And then, of course, it gives the little disclaimer at the end. Again, to me, Claude 2 beats ChatGPT. It's something that I just think, and again, it's a moving target. It's going to be 1 second. Regina, you have your hand up? Or you're just pulling your pen? Or no, don't be scared. It's okay. Anyone could ask questions, by the way. You could jump in
And-
on all
Edmund,
the
what's the website for Claude?
Claude, you go to something called Anthropic. Daniel, can you put that into the chat? Daniel's great at helping me out with all these things. My Anthropic, and they call it Claude 3. I keep saying Claude 2 because it was Claude 2 up until about a week ago. So if you go to these things, I spend a lot of money on AI. I spend a lot of money on these different tools that are out there because obviously what I do, it's kind of, I don't let $20 stop me ever. And so I'm subscribed to Anthropic for $20 a month. I'm subscribed to ChatGPT for $20 a month. I'm subscribed to a lot of these things. But I'm subscribed to 11 Labs, which I'll show you in a minute. That's only $5 a month. And again, you could clone your own voice. And my prediction is in 2024, we're going to see a wealth of scams out there. Please protect yourselves based on people taking someone's voice and trying to fool someone else. So just be aware that that is something. But let's now go into a couple things. Questions so far?
Can you, because I'm really kind of new, well, not new, but all I used to do with ChatGPT was
All right.
literally write my property descriptions. I learned that you can actually train it, and so I've been working on having it give me a set of questions to train. Can you do this with Claude and all of the other ones as well?
100%. 100. The category of artificial intelligence is called LLM, stands for large language model. Claude just happens to have more capacity today. I'm not throwing a cow at any of these companies. I need to be very clear. These guys, I'm a capitalist, and I believe that competition is a good thing. I believe that this makes these companies compete for your business. And right now they are throwing so many resources in to get better and better and better. That the only thing I'm going to do is be able to monitor this and stay on top of and use each to see where we're going. But yes, let's take a look at some of these things. By the way, for subscribers, and I hope you do, for those of you who are not subscribed, you do take your time to subscribe to Rain Nation. We have a limited time free membership for you to join. And then for those that come, we have 6 of these masterminds a month at least. And it's $30 a month to actually participate with no contract. You could cancel at any time. So that was my sales pitch to everyone. Hope that didn't fall on deaf ears. Let's take a look at some of these prompts that I actually have in here. Because when you say training, I actually wrote down various prompts. Financial advisor prompt. Maybe you're not happy with the writing. I mean, that's something actually I look at everyone. How many people get sick and tired of some of the responses that ChatGPT gives? It's in a tone that you don't necessarily like. You could actually ask it to write in different tones and to actually write in different voices for you. So, for example, one of the voices that I've always liked was Vince Vaughn in The Moving Wedding Crashers. I thought he was a sarcastic guy in that. I think under the right circumstance, I could do some great things with that tone. And sure enough, by asking it to sound like that, it's terrific. By the way, you could also say, I want you to sound like William Shakespeare. Can you rewrite this as if it was written by William Shakespeare or Yoda? Any of my Star Wars fans out there? Okay, good. Yeah, I had a feeling. It's good. So for my fellow nerds, for those that like Yoda, you could make it write a description of listings in Yoda's voice. I don't know what you're going to do with that, but you're welcome. So let's take a look at some of these other prompts that we've got going on here. One of the things that I've really liked is I'm a goal-oriented guy, so I made a goal prompt. You are a robot for creating prompts. You need to gather information about the goal, about my goals. Anyway, I also can't spell about my goals, examples of preferred output, and any other relevant contextual information. The prompt should contain all the necessary information provided to you. Ask me more questions until you are sure you can create the optimal prompt. Your answers should be clear and formatted and optimized for ChatGPT interactions. In Claude's case, they'll probably correct us and say in Claude's interactions. Be sure to start asking me about my goals, the desired outcome, and any other information you may need. Again, do you understand? So You know, that's a long one, but let me just take one other. Side hustle prompt.
You know, the nice thing about Claude too is that these context windows are getting so big right now, and they're going to just continue to get large. I know,
Explain
like
context windows so everyone explain
yeah,
who you are,
so
where you are, and
no,
context.
sure. Steve, I'm a lender with Guaranteed Rate in Tampa, and been working on AI for like 10 years. So it's just awesome to see all the use cases coming in now. But so a context window is what you actually enter into the prompt, and then the response. So you probably hear things like tokens, well, there are token limits. And, you know, to give you, I think like 75 words or 75 tokens is like maybe a paragraph. So Gemini 1.5, which is Google's version, they can take in a context window of 1 million, right? So a couple of years ago, the context window was maybe like a sentence or two. So just to give you some perspective with how fast this is moving, right now you could basically put in the Harry Potter series of books into one prompt, and it would be able to intelligently talk through it. So Claude is actually really good at that. So Claude, they did it's called a needle in a haystack approach, where they feed it a bunch of information, and then somewhere in the middle they put a sentence that is completely out of context. And so a couple weeks ago, the scientists over at Claude and at Anthropic, they fed it a bunch of technical scientific data on what they were working on, and then right in the middle they put what is the most popular form of pizza ingredients in one sentence, and it was like a Mediterranean style pizza or so. Claude was able to pick out that sentence without even being prompted, and it said, hey, this sentence was in here. It seems like you were testing me for some reason, right? So out of this huge context window, think of a book, it was able to pick out this one sentence. And that's what Claude's a lot better at GPT in, is identifying these large context windows and the content, because after a while, these language models start to forget things, kind of like our memory, right? You know, over time we forget things, things that are relative or more present now. So that's where Claude has that advantage over GPT.
Sure. And I'm glad you said all that. And again, I want to stress it's a moving target. GPT-5 is about to come up, and they may very well kick their ass. I mean, we just don't know what's going to happen with it. But Rain Nation, we're always probing, so join us and stay on the know with all of this. I think that would be great stuff. As far as, there's a couple other things that you use on a practical level. How many people in here have had a bad breakup, like a divorce? Any divorcees here? 1, 2, okay. Everyone else is happy, that's great. You know, there's someone who's in my office, and her English is a second language, and she's very nice. I'm very fond of her, wonderful lady. But not only does she have to communicate in English, again, she's Spanish speaking, and she can write English, but it takes her a long time. She thinks her ex-husband, who she co-parents with, is the biggest jackass that's ever walked the face of the earth. And her writing reflects that. So together we sat down and we created a prompt just for her ex-husband. And that prompt goes into ChatGPT or Claude or any of these. And it says, I'm about to input a letter or correspondence that I need to send to my ex-husband. I don't like the man. I think he's horrible. He's a horrible guy. He's a horrible father. He's all this. However, I can't say that in the letter. I have to be professional. I have to be clear. I have to be strong. She doesn't want to be weak. He was a bad guy, not a very good guy. I have to be all these things. Can you take what I wrote and rewrite it in the voice of, and she picked somebody's voice, somebody's tone, so that I could send him this email. Do you understand? Again, guys, you got to write that down. Do you understand? And it says, yes, please go ahead and input whatever you need to input. And she inputted the worst things. You bug fucking bastard. She went on with all this stuff with how horrible this guy was. And sure enough, this thing then produced exactly what she needed in the tone and the voice that is going to be productive. That to me is a phenomenal use. I never even considered it until and whenever I see her, she goes, Edmund, you don't understand. This has changed. This has changed the interaction that I've had with the son of a bitch. This has changed she really, truly gets that, and she can respond so much faster. So, everyone's laughing, and indeed, I'd like to be a pretty funny guy. There is truth to all of this. Other things that you could go for our divorcees. I had someone else getting divorced in the office who has mountains of files that they have to read. There's all this stuff that came from the attorney. You can now enter this into Claude or ChatGPT as a PDF, and you can say, can you tell me what this means? But I made the prompt a little bit further. Before I go back and spend $400 an hour on my attorney, can you review this entire document and then A, give me the highlights of what's going on, but B, point out areas that you may be concerned about if you were me, and then have that complete interaction. They said to me, Ed, you saved me thousands of dollars, because it wasn't a replacement for the attorney. It was now reading this in a way that she was able to take notes and be able to say, these are the areas of concern. She's not going to read this 150-page document or whatever this thing was. And she's not a lawyer, and she never planned on being one, and she never planned on being divorced. So all this shit came down to her. But what she was able to do with the AI was use it as a means of clarity. To me, that's the remarkable thing about this technology. It's not a replacement for you just yet. Denine Kerns, Denine, you're one of my favorite people. Can you tell everyone who you are and why you're so wonderful and where you are?
I'm in Newport Beach, California. Been selling real estate almost 28 years. Yeah, we've been friends for a long time. Hi, Ed.
Nice.
So does she just scan all that paperwork? How do you get it?
You can take a PDF. If anyone here has a PDF that they could send me, I'd rather be your PDF, not my PDF, because I want to prove that it works. Send it to Daniel. Can they put it in the chat, and could I download that, or does it not take attachments?
You
Daniel?
can download it.
I could download it from the, so if anybody, while this is going on, wants to go into the chat and upload a PDF, again, disclosure here, it's going out there, people are going to see it. So if it's private stuff, don't do that. But if you want me to review that with everyone, it's a great tool. It's something that you're not using these AIs enough. And
Wow,
so,
that's amazing.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not foolproof. It's not foolproof. And I want you to all know this. At the last meeting, I also talked about AI hallucinations. Aside from Steve, does anyone know what AI hallucinations are? It's when it makes shit up. It actually lies rather than tell you that it was
It
not,
doesn't
you know.
know.
And there's a famous case right now where an attorney started using ChatGPT about a year ago, and he thought he was going to be clever. And he goes, oh, great. You know, what case law is this? Are you basing this on? And it gave the case and the docket number and all these detailed informations about it was. And guess what? It didn't exist. It made it up. It was a story.
Oh my gosh.
And the
that's
guy got
scary.
busted doing this for 3 or 4 different clients. And he may not be a lawyer anymore. Certainly ain't going to be my lawyer. So
Wow.
it's important to put the disclaimer out to all of you. You got it. You still need to use your brain, guys. I'm sorry. You can't just outsource it all. I wish you could. You know, questions before we go on. I'm talking a lot here. Anyone? Anyone? Okay, we'll go on to some of the next. I don't see. Oh, Paul said I don't see the upload icon. Paul, you want to just shoot it to Edmund at Bogen Homes here? Oh, send it to Daniel at Bogen Homes. You can send it to him right now, and Daniel, you'll shoot it over to me or do whatever you need to do. Great. So he'll get that out there. So while we're doing that, let's take a look at a couple other prompts and a couple other things, neat stuff that you're going to be able to do. Here, I like this one, the home inspector prompt. All of us have home inspector. I want to role play with you. You are a home inspector with extensive experience in inspecting homes in South Florida or New Jersey or Thailand. I don't care where you are, but you know, you understand what inspections need to be done to both satisfy the buyer of a home as well as what insurance companies will likely frown upon in a home. When I ask you questions about the home inspection process, I want you to not only give answers, but to ask further follow-up questions to get to the heart of the issues that I have with the home, blah, 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 blah. And I said that it knows about HVAC and carpentry and flooring and roofing and all that great stuff. Do you understand? I hope I made that point. Oops. That the do you understand part is kind of important.
Have you ever had ChatGPT tell you they don't understand? Or to clarify?
Usually it doesn't say that it doesn't understand, but sometimes it will say things like, based on what you're saying, it will give you an answer. Sometimes I have a hard time, but that's why at the end of my prompts, when it says something like, how much confidence do you have? I showed that for those of you who are coming in late, I programmed ChatGPT to say, what give me the percentage of confidence you have in your answer. When I send something less than 90%, well, would you get on a plane if there was a 90% chance that it was going to, a 10% chance it was going to crash? I certainly wouldn't send it to an ex-wife or an ex-husband or whatever they're doing. So let's just go through this prompt here again, and we'll open up a fresh page on ChatGPT. And we could put this in. That was the home inspector prompt. And we're going to do that with this guy. And while this guy's at it, we're going to also do the same fresh page on Claude. Okay, I understand. It's Xperiex Home Inspector. Who has got a home inspection question? I need somebody to give me something like something that might have come up, something that you might be questioning about, something that's broken in a house. Angela, Regina.
How about,
Angela?
how about, they just found a lot of water and mold damage underneath the home in the crawl space.
Okay, stay with me 1 second. Thank you. We found water. Tell me, describe it again.
Water in the crawl space with mold, or can't say mold, some sort of growth.
Okay, anything else?
Say that it's under the house.
It's under the house, and yeah, it's the crawl, he wrote crawl space.
Okay, keep in mind the context that I gave him was Florida, so it might be a very different outcome if you're in Alaska.
That's fine.
Okay, so just know that it is under the house. Okay, not much of a prompt, but let me just save that so I could go to our other guy here while they're working on it here. I'm gonna go here. Let's take a look.
Angela, are you in Alaska?
No, I'm in
No,
Washington
I was
State.
kidding. I was joking.
I'm in Washington State, so it's just rainy here all the time.
You know what? I didn't even realize that, but that's good.
What part of Washington State?
Tacoma.
Oh, great. Oh, okay. Text your phone number or post it.
Okay, so get beer and chips after. We'll talk about that. I understand you're concerned about finding water and growth in the crawl space. To better assess, I have a few questions. Is the water standing or flowing? How deep is it? Can whoever's speaking, can you mute whoever's got things going on in the back? Thank you. Okay. Can you describe the appearance and the extent of the growth? Does it appear to be mold or some other type of growth? Have you noticed any musty odors in all this? And then together, provided that you go back and forth, let's see what ChatGPT said. Finding water in the crawl space with some growth is a concern and needs to be addressed promptly. The presence of water can lead to structural damage over time, and growth could be source of water. We need to determine where the source of water is coming from. Is there any visible sign? Extent of growth, ventilation and drainage. So it asked both of those things as well. Do you see where I'm getting at with it? You need to kind of go along the lines of a conversation. My feeling is most of you are going to your AIs and simply asking, you're using it like you're used to using Google. You're using it as a search engine when really you're meeting with a top professional that has an understanding of something that you don't necessarily understand. So those are the two prompts. Again, I encourage you, if you haven't yet, to take me up on what I'm saying and subscribe to Rain Nation. Daniel, if you could put that into the chat. Subscribe members, we have a 7-day trial within here, and all subscribe members could get a copy of my prompt list that I'm making, and we're constantly always trying to redo that, and we'll gladly email that to you. So please, please, please. And RA, when you put that in there, very good. There you go. So he's got this thing on there. FYI, the website is brand new. And the cost for Rain Nation, there's 2 levels of subscription, $30 a month to participate in up to 6 of these meetings per month, or $10 a month just to watch the videos of the past meetings. There's other levels of membership that are coming. There's no contract. You could quit at any time. So I'm trying to reinvent coaching here. I'm trying to come up with people paid a bloody fortune for it. I do one-on-one coaching as well. I'd rather not. I'd rather coach you into what you specifically want to do. God, I suddenly got dark. Did I turn into a silhouette for a second? Okay. Just thought that I was suddenly
Oh, that
dreaming.
was weird.
Yeah, a little weird. Okay. I thought it was like bad weed or something I had a long time ago. I don't know. Okay. No good. No weed smokers. Okay, we'll go on from there. Okay, so let's take a look at one other thing that I'd really love to share with you, and that is something I discovered last week. It's called Suno.ai. And with it, you want to make a song. Let's make a song. We're going to make a song together. This is going to be fun. We're going to create a song, and this is an AI basically creating a song about whatever you want. Somebody give me something that we could write a song about. It could be about your dog. It could be about your ex-husband. It could be about the weather. It could be about a small town in Washington. I don't care. So who wants to give me something?
Hey, how about calm, relaxing music while visiting an open house tour?
Calm. Yeah, I want a little bit more. I mean, yes, that's a good thing to get. I'd really love to get something that's specific. Like if you had some. What was that, Angela?
Jimmy,
You're muted, Angela.
You could do a country music song. I've been married for years and he just dumped me.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that was more along the lines of country music song about being married. This is a very negative meaning here, but for years. I didn't mean for it to go that route. But you dumped me.
and my dog ran away.
Okay, yeah, fine, that's good. Because it's country music, right? You got your
Right.
dog. In fact, you play country music backwards. You get your dog
Right.
back, you get your wife back, you get your house back because yeah.
Right.
And my dog ran away. Okay, let's now create this. But oops, sorry, I need to share the screen for you to actually see it. Duh. So this thing is free. Of course, they only give you a limited number of credits, which then makes you upgrade and pay more money. They call it freemium, I think. But when love was constant, let's see what this thing does.
No Tuesday and every Saturday night, hand in hand under the neon lights. Neon. Build a home and we raised a family, but now it's all gone, just a distant memory. Yeah. You left me. Love was a constant. My heart shattered by broken glass. Even my old dog needed to stay.
If the dog ran away.
Now it's
That's good.
run away.
Okay, you get the point.
There
This
goes
is what
the music
Hollywood.
business.
This is what Hollywood and that strike was all about, guys.
Mhm.
You know, and here's the thing: they will lose. Okay, anyone if it's like a realtor saying, "Well, Zillow isn't a factor in real estate." Bullshit. They will lose, and that's what the. You know, I'm not going to dilly-dally with any of you. We've got a problem if we're not going to understand this stuff. If you're not going to embrace it and really learn what's going forward, and it's not a problem in the weird, distant future. This is now, today. This is what's happening. You will get calls from people that don't exist that are going to ask you for money. Every one of us will. You are going to get people that are going to try and fool you. You are going to get clients that are going to want this type of level of service that's coming through AI. And you really need to dedicate some time to learning it and understanding it if you're going to coexist and be able to grow. Just like I'm able to make a living off people that are coming to me through Zillow, and I'm able to do certain things, you're going to be able to do very, very well with AI and with the emerging technologies, but you must embrace it. Anyway, that's my message for today. If you want to get the prompts, please take me up on my free offer and sign up. Daniel, if you could just put that in just one last time. So people could see that and we'll be able to get that in. If you have questions about this And if you want to know further more about one-on-one coaching, we could do that again. I take it as a project base. That's what I'm really trying to do. I don't think you need to stay like with a psychiatrist for 20 years. I think what we need is to be able to say, what is it that you're trying to do? How many of you are here through ChatGPT and Real Estate Mastermind? How many of you met me through, a couple of you met me through that? Great. That was by design. I created a Facebook group. Facebook grows by algorithms, so they get their message out to people who are searching for certain things. One of the questions that you answered was, yes, I'd like to get more information about the mastermind. You were emailed, you came, and you either think, A, he's a mensch and a good guy, or B, he's a schmuck and I don't want to see him again, or something somewhere in the middle. And from there, you're going to decide whether you want to try and do this. Now, how does that get done with real estate? If you have a moment on your own, because I don't have that much time now, you could look up new to Boca Raton, Delray Beach, and the surrounding areas. We have, actually, you know what? I will show it to you because I really want all of you to do this. Because realtors aren't, I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. And for those that have heard me say it before, I apologize, but I think it's worth saying. Let's take a look at the requests. So we've got people here who've actually requested to come in. And here we got this guy, Scott. I don't know who he is. He joined Facebook 12 years ago. He's planning to rent, and here's his email address to get the newsletter. Well, I'm not really necessarily looking for renters. Somebody on the team might, and that's fine. But we have his information. Another person planning to rent, they didn't give us their info. Somebody put a post. They are almost certainly washing cars or cleaning vents. Let's take a look at what they did. Okay, extreme air cleaning, told you. So there's a lot of these businesses that spam us. It's kind of what you need to get over. Let's see if there's anything in here. I'm looking for something that is a renter. There's their email address. Planning to buy. Okay, we know the person's name. They joined Facebook 16 years ago, which means that they're probably not a robot. They're probably not fake. So we have a whole scoring system within my team to see how important this person is.
So Daniel, do you have somebody going through all these?
Yes, we do. We go over it, and I have a team that's actually reviewing this, and we need to get better at it, to be quite honest with you. I'm looking for something planning to buy, but I think my team might have gotten that. Homeowner, hold on 1 second. Nope. Homeowner. Okay, maybe the homeowner renter. Okay, so the team got the ones that were saying that they were planning on buying, and that's exactly what I want them to do, is to go after those are the choice leads that you come from this. Now, how does this actually grow? It grows by content. You can see here that we have 7,044 members, and in the last few days, we had a bunch of people join here that have requested to join. I was up to quite a few people per day, but the team isn't posting as much as they can be on there. And we need to, the more you post, the more people are going to go to the site. You've got a story that I can't compete with. There's a woman in the community. Again, Steve, you heard the story twice. I'm going to give it a third time here. There's a woman in my community. She lost her husband, and she created a bereavement group on Facebook. She doesn't know how to turn her computer on. I know, because she invites me over to do things like that for her. Nice, 80 some odd year old woman. She's got over 100,000 members in the group. Now, why did so many people join? Because Facebook every fifth thing you see on Facebook is an advertisement. Did you know that? Every fifth piece of content you see is an advertisement. The way they get content out there is because you produce stuff that people want. I know realtors are looking for ChatGPT. I know you want that. So I put it up there because by design, and I'm very transparent about the sales, I want to sell you on joining. I think it is worth it. I want to sell people real estate. It's not a symptom of the disease, okay? This is something that we all need to do. So, so that's the story today. If you want to get together one-on-one with me, definitely let me know. And that's, if you register on the site, Rick, yes, I will get you. I don't know if it'll automatically, but Rick, we will send it to you as promised. So please do that. Any other questions before we conclude? Okay,
No, this
anyone?
is great. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. And Denine, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna keep trying with you. I'm gonna be in LA in April. So I'll let you know the date and all that. We'll chat offline.
Okay, great.
Anyone have some good stuff happen this week? New listings, new leads, referrals, anything that they want to share? Now is the time to do that. No?
Yeah, new listings. I've got a duplex in Corona Del Mar, if anybody's interested. 3.5 million for 3-bedroom, 2.5 baths. It's already all redone. They have tenants paying $6,200 in each unit. And I have a fixer in Harbor Ridge in Newport Beach that has ocean Catalina views, great property, 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath.
Sure. Okay. Well, good. And everyone, you should connect with Denine. She's really awesome. I really like her. And that's part of what we do here. Michael May, will your prompts improve my real estate business? It can. If you use it the right way, it can. If again, I got to tell you something, folks. It's a cheap enough price point for me to be extremely honest with all of you. I could give you the tools that you need, but you need to actually be a part of your success. There's no magic bullets here. And I can't stress that enough, that you really do need to work them. We can make this practice. Exactly. We can make this as easy as possible for everyone. And it's a great leverage that you've got, but there is still the human elements. Thank God. Thank God. We need it. You need to be needed. There needs to be that human element. You need to like, the client, they need to like you. We need to come up with a strategy. So
Hey, has everybody noticed the NAR proposed settlement of the lawsuits that just came out this morning? If not, go
Yes.
check it out.
yeah, what was it, 418 million or something?
Yeah.
Or
Yes, yep, so,
yeah, and forever changes
right.
how we do this. Yeah, look, it's a moving to I'm 55. I've got a while to work here. I mean, I've got, and I happen to like it. I think I hope most of you do. But we need to come up with strategies. And if it's not going to be this one, please join a mastermind. It's a very lonely business. It really is. You're around people all the time, but you really need to get this, and you need to come up with ways. I can introduce you to 5 different agents that make $1 million a year in 5 very, very different ways. I don't care how you actually do it, but come up with a strategy and stick with it and see if it's working, and then iterate, keep changing. So, okay, guys, again, sign up for the group. I really hope you do. Members, we will send you that link with the stuff. Daniel, do we have a topic for Wednesday yet? I don't think so. Okay, topic's going to be announced later today. Again, we're going to be putting that out. The meeting's Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, for people like Denine and the Californians, it's a real nosebleeder, I know. We're also working on getting some great speakers. In the past, I actually spoke to him yesterday. Bruce Toll from Toll Brothers Real Estate has spoken here, and we had Dottie Herman, the most successful self-made woman in real estate, according to Forbes magazine. And if you have not, and we've had other people, I've got now 2 brothers that own a couple thousand units, and I'm doing business with them now, and I'm asking them to come on to talk about what they have liked about realtors and what they think we need to do to sell better. So some of this is not all high tech. A lot of this is really what we could do to help you build your business. And again, Daniel, you're always thinking ahead, Daniel. He's the greatest guy ever. You could email this guy like any point, and he always gets back. For questions, please send him an email, daniel@bogenhomes.com. And you could always reach out to me as well. I thank you so much for coming. The video will be in the archive as well. And I hope to see you again next week for another exciting episode of Rain Nation. Thank you so much. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Wow, what a fun group. This is good. Okay. Winding it down. And Mark, you've been hiding this whole time. I didn't know you were in here.
Yeah, I was listening.
Okay. No, this is and you
Listening and learning, man. That's
you got a dead animal on your face. What are you like? Like what's you're turning Orthodox on me or something? What's happening? What are you doing?
boy.
Boy, yeah, no, this is okay. It's Friday. It's
been a
Friday.
long week.
Yeah, and by the way, I have a banter with Mark. He's been a great friend for how many? 25 years now? Probably.
We met in around 2002, 2003.
Was that okay? So not that long. Oh, 20.
I was a very proud member of Ed's networking organization, which was fabulous in New York when he was here, and he taught me everything about networking. And you can learn a lot from this man. That's what I've learned.
Very sweet. Okay, buddy. Well, good. Good to see
Yeah.
everybody. Go make some money. Go get them. Go get them. It's gonna be great. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.